So we are counting down 52 weeks till we walk down the aisle and say I do.
Yo, like get married. Not like hood married, but like married.
Because we've been hood married. I'm Dominican, and where I come from, if you live with your mans for a while, that's your husband. But he's not my husband yet, and I can't wait till you become my husband.
Yeah, I'm excited too. Are you wearing your ring actually? And we're gonna start this video over again.
Hello everybody, and welcome to the road to the royal Cousers wedding.
This is our first ever YouTube joint video together. And I think we want to do this because we've been having such an awesome time going through our wedding experience, and for some reason there's such a negative connotation towards weddings and engagements and ceremonies and stuff, and everyone gets stressed out and nervous about it. Every person we talk to, even the engaged people, are like, oh my god, you're planning? Aren't you stressed out?
If you think about everything all at once, it seems overwhelming, but we've kind of taken everything a step at a time, and we've had a lot of time to plan. We'll give you a quick recap of all the events.
We've been together for 8 years. We live in New York City. I guess it all really started on December 7th, 2018, when I proposed to Jill. So we've had a good 9 straight months.
After Jarrett proposed, which I was completely shocked about, because regardless, we have been together for 7 years at that point, but in my mind, like, marriage wasn't at the top of the list. We're both career-driven people. We're both out here in New York City grinding. We love to travel. We love to party. There was a lot of different things in our minds, and it was not like, let's spend all of our money on having a wedding.
For an entire year, I had been working on her ring. I did make a video on the kind of to get to that day experience, and that's on YouTube already, so we'll link that video too.
Link below.
So if you want to watch that of why it took a year, it'll explain all that.
Y'all, this ring gets a lot of attention everywhere I go though, so.
Yeah, can you even see it? Is it just like white?
Can you see it? No.
Right. Autofocus is like, nope, your face is. Hold on, let me cover my face. Oh, there it is! See, the autofocus works!
He proposed and I said yes, and we got over the shock of like 700 people being at the proposal. And
yeah, real talk, there was like 100-something people.
Just like the magic of that moment, we started planning in March. We went to our first bride and groom show at Oheka Castle.
And I want to just quickly say, shout out to the 3 months, if you're doing the math, of time we spent just enjoying it, because during that time period, everyone's going to ask you, so what's the date? So what are y'all doing? So what's your color scheme? Okay, we don't know. And I think that was a really good time to just take a step back, enjoy the moment before we really jumped into it. And I think that's why we were able to go to Oheka with some little bit direction, not because there's a lot of options. Like your wedding could be anything you want it to be. In
a world where money wasn't an option, what would it look like? That's where we started, because you should never start at the bottom. You have to start at the top. And guess what? We went to the top. Oheka Castle is one of the most well-known places in in the Northeast, right?
Yeah, Oheka Castle is crazy, bro. Like the drive up alone, you feel so insignificant in a really good way.
Yeah.
I know that makes no sense at all. But it just feels like, was it opulent is the right word? It feels massive, it's castle.
Royal.
We were reminded back to that feeling of being royal in front of Buckingham Palace. Combine that with Oheka Castle and its like crazy dopeness. We were like, yo, royal motherfucking wedding for her and I. And
if you know me and Jarrett, we love a good theme. We've had amazing parties. We mentioned our birthday parties and everything.
Pajama jams.
I think the idea of royalty really kind of honed in on us, and then all of a sudden we went from Oheka Castle and we were like, what other castles can we go?
Are there more castles? Are there places that are crazy and big? And shout out to the knot.com, because once we had that idea, that like Inception, if you like that movie, we played a Hans Zimmer sound. Once we had that idea and it was in our heads, we could then use this tool, this website, this platform, whatever you want to call it. I can't literally credit the Knot enough to narrow down our search to find the places that fit that criteria.
Literally.
I mean, it went from thousands to dozens, right?
The now basically you just type in what you want and options wherever in the world you're looking for. So I mean, we're so grateful because that's the first website that I was like, we gotta go to the knot.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we did because
we found all the places we looked at.
Yeah.
Should we talk about them?
Let's go into it. Let's start with Oheka.
Okay.
What we felt about Oheka since it was our very first that we went to.
Review for Oheka Castle.
Review. So Oheka Castle is in Long Island and it is one of the oldest castles in New York, if not the oldest castle in New York. And so many amazing A-list people have gotten married there that it has become like the #1 place for people to have their weddings.
More pros, just to remind people. Again, the drive-up experience is amazing. The castle itself is fairy tale-esque. Like, not even esque, fairy tale, right? It is a crazy, large, beautiful castle. Photos of the exterior just don't even do it justice. You gotta be there. Again, the scale is amazing.
It's so breathtaking on the outside. A beautifully like architectural, like beautiful place with a garden in the back.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's amazing. But when you go inside, and I guess this is where we started going into the cons, you can tell this place has not been renovated for a really long time.
Let's call it a hot minute.
Yeah, a hot minute. Like you can smell the age on this place. Like it's not like a museum.
Yeah, and usually I'm the one who like notices smell and smells bother me, but yo, Jill picked that up on that like mad quick. Like, yo, it's a museum. I'm not getting.
I closed my eyes and I saw dead people. Like honestly, like it was.
And not a good way either. Not Sixth Sense, dope movie. Like dead people.
No. I was like, I can't get married in a place that I think is haunted. I don't need that kind of energy or vibes.
And no knocks to people who got married at Oheka. I mean, you can bring in tons of flowers and now it smells like roses.
Right.
But like we're not trying to pay for that. You know what I mean? Like,
also, Oheka is at the top. You know how they have the dollar signs? Let's say it's $4 signs.
Yeah, like all the dollar signs.
All the dollar sign. Because it's expensive. And Jarrett's right. You can't come in and you can put flowers, you can put candles, you can put decorations, you can change the furniture, you can do everything. But that's
admittedly, that's with any place, but
that's on top of the already expensive place that you're at. So you're looking at not only an expensive location, you're looking at an expensive event.
Yes, you are.
Like the whole thing is going to be way more.
And I think another thing about Oheka, why we chose not to go there outside of the smell and the interior not being, actually I guess it goes into interior, it's the ballroom itself. The ballroom scale compared to the castle scale, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
The ceiling is not high. I'm 6'3", but you know the ceilings are pretty short. My family is tall, you know, so it's kind of like it was like our apartment height, you know, maybe slightly bigger. So that kind of underwhelmed us a little bit too. And as you heard through this video, we're partiers. We like to have a good time. We like to dance. We like to get it in. We're going to spend most of our time in that ballroom of our wedding experience. You know, think about it, guys. Especially people who are getting married watching this. Your ceremony is going to be 30 minutes. What you're paying for is going to be spent in the ballroom. And that's just mad, like, tiny and condensed.
Yeah.
So that, immediately, we were like, oh, no.
Basically, the experience at Oheka was great because we knew what we wanted and we knew what we didn't want.
Yes.
And so
shout out to Oheka for that.
Thank you, Oheka, for having an amazing bridal and groom show. I suggest anyone who's engaged and starting their wedding planning.
Up. You gotta pull up.
Go to as many bridal and groom shows as you can.
And pull up on Oheka. Like, don't just take our word for it. See it. It's dope.
Even if you can't afford it, go. Because you need to experience that. We understood our event a lot more because of it. We knew that we wanted that royal feeling of pulling up to a castle, and then we knew that we wanted something a little bit more modern.
Yeah.
We wanted something that was a little bit more us. It took us on the right direction, because then after Oheka we were hyped.
Park Chateau was next.
Park Chateau. Shout
out to Park Chateau. Park Chateau was beautiful. Photos of us being there. Great experience. The ground was really nice. It looks just like it does in the photos. The room and interior is the opposite of Oheka Castle. It is very modern. You can tell this place was just built. It's fresh. Oh man,
you can smell the paint.
They ain't got to worry about the smell of Park Chateau.
It has a chapel on premise.
Another benefit, right? You can actually have an experience, non-denominational too. So you can have whatever religious type experience you want to have for your wedding on grounds, not travel and transport people, and then literally go right over to your wedding experience.
And our first experience really seeing a wedding workshop, a place where they churn out weddings.
Oh yeah, because I guess the context is Oheka has the same setup, and so a lot of places have a similar setup to Park Chateau. But how they actually do their weddings, particularly to this location, is that you get a window of time, right? So let's say your wedding is from 4 to 8 o'clock. That's the start time, that's the end time. Your ceremony is in that time, your cocktail hour is in that time, your reception's in that time. Done, out, goodbye. But hearing that and being walked through that process at Park Chateau provided us with the information on that's not what we wanted.
Yeah.
We did not want to feel the pressure of start to end. I mean, every place is gonna have your wedding starts at this time, but we didn't want a place where literally we're paying a lot of money for 4, sometimes maybe 5 hours, and that was it. Bye.
We loved the idea of that Park Chateau had of having everything on premise.
Yes.
And that's where we got inspiration from too. There's a lot of things that we liked, but again, it's like you learn as you go with wedding planning, and we're enjoying it. We were enjoying going to these places.
Oh, it was a good time.
And everyone, and I just want to say shout out to everyone who was like our tour guides in these places.
Y'all were all dope.
Like,
sorry we didn't choose you if you're watching this, but you were very, very dope.
We decided to finally go to Pleasantdale Chateau.
And we had an amazing experience there. Fred Fogg, the director of Pleasantdale Chateau, was amazing. He's easy to work with. We highly recommend you check it out. The grounds are beautiful. It is a castle. It is a French castle, a chateau. And it's everything we wanted. It's both opulent and amazing, like what we felt Legacy Castle is, but it also has these very traditional and historic type feeling that we saw in Skylands Manor as well. So it's a very great combination, along with having accommodations on site as well as after party solutions and a brunch the next day.
Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch and listen. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you're not afraid to go out there and go for your dreams, especially while wedding planning.
And give yourself a runway if you can. Give yourself some opportunity to plan. Give yourself an opportunity to, to fall in love with an idea and concept and execute it to the best of your ability. It's not just about the money you're spending. It's about making it a true experience. People always say, your wedding's one day of your life, but it's a day you're gonna always remember. Don't spend money that you don't have, but take your time to make it the best experience you can.
Well, thank you again, guys. Subscribe and look forward to our next video.
And follow Hardy of Harlem.
Yeah.
Harlem, right? I love my tongue out. I love my tongue.